Bill and Ted are about to fail history class and lose their rock and roll dreams forever, until Rufus, their savior from the future, with a time-traveling phone booth, directs them on a voyage through time and space to pass history and become the rock gods they dream to be. That is the logline to the brand new Broadway smash hit musical, Bill and Ted's Excellent Musical.
History was made on Broadway last night.
To find Broadway's newest show, get ready to go back in time.
Finally tonight here, one of the most unforgettable performances on Broadway.
The set is beautiful, the actors are wonderful, the way they've updated the musical numbers is so exciting with all the new modern songs.
Be excellent to each other. Party on, dudes!
And the Tony Award for Best Musical goes to Wild Stallions!
Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, directed by Stephen Herek and written by Ed Solomon and Chris Matheson, is a cult classic masterpiece, making decades of moviegoers laugh and cheer for the Wild Stallions. Some would consider this movie to be a lightning in a bottle scenario, so adapting it to the stage could prove difficult. The only major thing I hope to improve on in this piece is to create a stronger underlying theme. The original story can be taken at face value. Here, I hope to make things count. So for my overview of the show, I'm going to briefly hit on all of the plot points. I definitely recommend watching any Bill and Ted movies to get the tone and fun that this musical can provide. But nonetheless, curtains. The overture will have two motifs, one for Bill and one for Ted. Throughout the show, depending on their circumstances, their motif will return. A part of that motif would include a Bill and Ted classic.
Excellent!
Drawing inspiration from the Little Shop of Horror's first number,
on the 23rd day of the month of September,
we meet Rufus, and he lays out the plan. He's going to travel through time from 2688 to 1988 and secure two high schoolers' destinies as
the two great ones.
This speech leads into a rock number called Exactly That, where we meet...
I'm Bill S. Preston, Esquire. And I'm Ted Theodore Logan. Yeah! And we're Wild Stallions! Uh-oh, we're late. For what? For school, dude.
Bill and Ted rush the class, which they suck at.
We've learned that the world has a great history.
Yes, and that thanks to great leaders such as Genghis Khan, Joan of Arc, and Socratic method, the world is full of history.
Their teacher lays down an ultimatum. If they can't pass their history presentation, they will fail history. If they fail history, Ted's dad will send Ted to military school and Bill will move away with his father. The worried stallions study at Bill's house and they sing their I Want song called
Shut Up, Ted!
Here they try to stay on track studying, but continuously get distracted with their hopes and dreams of being rock and roll legends. Also, Missy interrupts. To avoid being scarred for life, they go to study at the Circle K, where...
Greetings, my excellent friend.
Strange things are afoot at the Circle K.
Which is the name of our next big number. Included in the song, Rufus tells Bill and Ted they can use the time-traveling phone booth to study history in real time. The Stallions get the idea that instead of studying the history, they should just bring back historical figures to the presentation. With a trip to see Napoleon invade Austria, a glowing review from their future selves,
69, dudes!
and inspiring the hope that Bill and Ted can pass their class, Rufus heads out. But before he leaves, he says two important notes. The phone booth is delicate, so be careful, and don't go to the future. Before they can leave, Ted's dad arrives and demands that Ted come home immediately. He, like every other character in this musical, has no faith that Bill and Ted can pass their class. Before any more can be discussed, Ted escapes with Bill, and they begin their excellent adventure. First stop, the Old West. Bill and Ted arrive at a saloon, where the oddly nice but crude townsfolk sing a classic western ditty similar to The Farmer and the Cowman from Oklahoma.
Howdy, partner!
The number, which will be our noise, begins after Ted unintentionally inspires the phrase, howdy partner. And before we can get too chaotic...
Who's he?
He's Billy the Kid.
Bill and Ted accidentally save Billy the Kid from a fight and agrees to go with them to their next stop. 15th century England, a time of knights, kings, queens, and...
Those are historical babes.
We gotta go. It's a history report, not a babe report.
As much as they try to resist, they can't help but follow through, invading the castle and singing our next song. Eventually they reach the princesses, fall in love, get caught by royal ugly dudes, and put in the stocks.
Execute them.
Bogus.
Bill and Ted, fearing for the end, are saved by Billy the Kid and the princesses. Next, they pick up Socrates, Sigmund Freud, Ludwig von Beethoven, Joan of Arc, Genghis Khan, and Abraham Lincoln in a number called
Extra credit, dude.
After prolonged use, the phone booth starts to short circuit, sending Bill and Ted to the future. They resist taking a look, but their curiosity gets the better of them, and they learn a harsh truth. They're not destined to be rock and roll greatness, and the Wild Stallions aren't a world-leading band. This is my major change from the movie, where they're almost like gods in the future. Bill and Ted return to the same moment from earlier.
69, dudes!
Ted wants to keep going because maybe they can change the future, but Bill doesn't see the point, as it's probably set in stone. Suddenly, it all comes crashing down around them. Bill and Ted's dads find them, Rufus says they have no time left to waste, and Napoleon is running amok. Sorry, I forgot to mention. In this story, Napoleon's going to take over San Dimas while they are away. Bill and Ted attempt to escape their issues. They jump back into the time machine to reverse all of their mistakes, and suddenly, Bill and Ted find themselves in a dark, liminal space with a familiar face from the series.
Ted. It's the Grim Reaper, dude. Oh. How's it hanging, Death?
Curtain. That's right, Bill and Ted's fans. Not only are we adapting Excellent Adventure, but we're also taking the great parts from its divisive sequel, Bogus Journey, directed by Peter Hewitt. Okay, intermission over. Act 2. Bill and Ted try to escape death using a Melvin. However, they fail to escape, and are wrapped up in a rock and roll number in hell, sung by the devil himself.
Bogus.
Their fears come to life. Military school, Bill leaving San Dimas, and the Easter Bunny. That confuses Death, but what confuses Death more is why Bill and Ted are in hell when they weren't supposed to be dead yet. He stops the number similar to this song. And out of respect, and to right the wrongs of time, Death offers them a chance to return to the land of the living, if they play Death's game in our next number.
We gotta play the Reaper! Miss.
Bill and Ted win, repeatedly, and learns that ever since Napoleon arrived, San Dimas is in a crisis, and they're on their way. Bill, Ted, and Death go to heaven, and with the help of other angels and dead historical figures, plead to God why they should be let back to Earth in a number, Our Hill Behind the Hill, similar to One Short Day from Wicked. Bill and Ted sort of come to terms with their place in the world. Who cares if they aren't famous rock stars in the future? Because these two know they'll always be best friends. God grants them passage, and Death wishes them a farewell, and we return to San Dimas in chaos. Scored by Beethoven, Napoleon and the historical figures have taken over the San Dimas Mall. Not everyone's trying to fight, though.
Hello, I'm Dr. Freud, but you may call me Siggy.
The police are called, particularly Ted's police captain father, and we get our big, somewhat late in the game, villain number Napoleon Sings.
Triomphe Napoleon.
Just in time, Bill and Ted stop them all from going crazy, and they happen to be joined by
Rufus!
Rufus explains to the Wild Stallions that he didn't go back in time to help them become famous, but because never in all of history has Rufus met someone that didn't matter. Bill and Ted matter. They're not just best friends, they are the best friends. All together, particularly Bill and Ted, they sing our main event, The Great Ones, a reprise of the two great ones. Ted's dad, now believing in his son, arrests Napoleon. But they've got no time. Bill and Ted rush the historical figures to the school. Just in time, our 11 o'clock number.
I'm here to help you with your history report.
They save the day, save history, but most importantly, pass their class. With everything wrapped up in an excellent bow, and the class chanting for an encore, it's time to
Party on, dudes!
I found it very entertaining.
I thought it was terrific. I particularly liked the fat man because he has a belly like me.
I thought it was very entertaining and very funny and in well taste. It was very tastefully done.
Excellent. I enjoyed it very much. One of the best plays I've seen.